Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids, and in today's video I want to give you a quick guide to KRO'KHAD the Throatripper. He's a new fusion. Hopefully you've all got him by now, and a lot of you are probably pulling him either at the weekend or during the CBC. And yeah, I'm going to break down how to build him. I am currently away on holiday, I'm not on holiday while I'm recording this video. The video is going to go out while I'm on holiday. So I don't unfortunately have the champion on my account, but I've got all the info that you need here in order to build him. And I will link the full written guide, which is going to go into far more detail than I can go into in this video. This guide should be live again by the time this video goes. It definitely will be live by the time the video goes out, so you can read it yourself and so on. But yeah, KRO'KHAD, as we can see, he is a damage dealer. I mean, one big question straight away, does he need Packmaster Shayak? He doesn't need him, but you really, really want him. Basically, KRO'KHAD, his damage potential is, let me get you a screenshot. It is crazy. Yeah, so this is just to reiterate the testing I did on the test server. I tried, we copied the exact same team, the exact same gear as well. Thor, 375 million in this team. KRO'KHAD did 617,000. Yeah, exact same gear, exact same, and it's just ludicrous damage. I think that KRO'KHAD with Packmaster, he probably does about twice as much damage because his counterattacks are going to do so much damage. The ally attacks from Packmaster are going to amp him up as well. His A3 repeats the attack. His A3 does double damage if Shayak is there, and then you don't need to build accuracy on him if Shayak is there. So yeah, he's gonna do, I think, over double damage, right? Which is nuts with Shayak, more than twice as much. But his damage is so high that even if you're not doing almost twice as much with Shayak, if you run him just on his own, he's going to be like, okay, he's going to be like an average legendary, which is nothing special in 2025. There's like 100 average legendary damage dealers, but he's going to be around that level. He'll be usable, but nothing special. Packmaster is what makes him insane. And this is one of the crucial things. Maybe there is more news about this that has gone live since I've recorded this video. I'll even do an update while I'm on holiday if there is, so that you guys stay informed. But there will be some sort of event for players to get their hands on Packmaster if they missed the fusion last year. I think it's very likely to be worthwhile doing for anyone that's missing him. Pretty much. Like, getting Packmaster is like the biggest upgrade to KRO'KHAD. I mean, I guess putting gear on KRO'KHAD is probably the biggest upgrade, or leveling him up to putting him to level 60. After that, getting Packmaster is like the biggest upgrade. It's way more important than even a soul or a good relic or anything, but we'll break all of those down as well. Full details in terms of how he works. We won't look at that. Some of his best areas. I think there's a ton of potential here. You can see the live playtest for my test server stuff, but one of the things that really impressed me, he has massive potential. Massive for arena, for a lot of people actually. We can even see the reviews coming in. Wow, people are loving him with these initial reviews, like 4.9. Got his lowest ranked thing. He's 4.9 everywhere. Wow, 4.8 in Chimera. Yeah, that would be one of his weaker areas, because he's more about AoE. But he's actually really good for arena, again, because of this counterattack. Think about Taurus and Marishka. You attack Marishka, Taurus slams you with the A2. That can be devastating. This guy's doing the same thing with Shayak. You're going to need a different build. We'll talk about that in the build section. But I think that they've got tons of potential in Arena, absolutely tons of potential in Siege as well. We've got some example teams listed here for Hydra, Faction Wars, and Arena and Siege for you to check out if you want. Let's look at the more crucial stuff here. We've got the overview. Let's look at how to actually build the guy. So yeah, in terms of gear sets, it's pretty straightforward. And I'll even walk you through the optimizer in terms of what you're going to do. You're going to build him basically very similarly to Tholan, who we had recently, very similarly to Thor as well. So the key difference really being that we don't need accuracy if we're going to combo him with Shayak. If you don't have Shayak, you're going to build him pretty much exactly like you would build Thor. But the key is going to be 6 pieces of Merciless. In fact, if we scroll down, we'll see more details here. Merciless, the more ignore defense you have, the better. So Merciless is ideal. Lethal, Savage, Instinct as well, I suppose, are also good, but not quite as good. And then you could supplement with some 2-piece sets as well. So Zeal will be really strong. I think the 2 best possible builds, 9-piece Merciless, very good. 6-piece Merciless with 2 pieces of Zeal extremely good as well. For example, that's why I've got, albeit a weird build because he's Titus, right? But on Titus, this would be sort of your ideal thing, right? The 35% ignore defense plus all the extra stuff, and then essentially an extra 12% damage. It's huge. So that's what you're looking for. Very end game stuff though. If you can't get him in that, look to lethal, look to savage. Basically, anything that's giving you ignore defense is ideal. Cruel, if you're really stuck, is really good as well. Another thing worth mentioning in the gear sets, Stone Skin. If you are going to use them in arena, that's going to be the way to go. Stone Skin with lethal or savage, or if you're really stuck, just with cruel. But Stone Skin would be ideal to keep him alive so he can actually counterattack and do all the crazy damage. For his stats, you want 100% crit rate, then as much crit damage and attack percent as possible. I'll show you how to build it. Then accuracy and speed are both somewhat optional. In fact, I probably should put speed number 4 and accuracy number 5. I'll try to remember to update it after recording this. I might forget. Fair warning, I might forget. But yeah, that's what you want. And these are the slots. Let's actually look to build them in the optimizer. Yeah, let's look to set that up right now. Okay, so we come to the optimizer. We're going to build him, which is a free tool, part of hellhades.com. Obviously, by the way, I'm sure I said, but I am one of the writers for hellhades.com. I wrote that article. I mean, it had me on it, so I'm sure you know. But basically what I would do, I'd come in to start, optimize Shayak, not Shayak, optimize KRO'KHAD for damage. Imagine Thor is him. And this equipped artifacts, if you really want to, you can equip locked artifacts, or you can make him use artifact sets regardless of lock status. So for example, you say, take my Merciless off whoever, go for it. Like if he is your new best Hydra damage dealer, yeah, consider just using all your best stuff, right? You can set up his masteries if you need to. I'll show you the masteries in a second. I've got him set for this. Let's, yeah, sure. Let's say I want to do him for Nightmare Hydra. Let's say we will have decreased defense and weaken on the enemies. We will have increased attack. We'll take off increased crit damage. Let's say we will have increased attack on us. You can remove these buffs if you want. You can change this to any area in the game. You can set it to just general if you don't want to build them for any specific area. But this, for example, by setting it to Hydra here, in fact, let me zoom it in so you can see it a bit more. We will see it will filter based off of the Hydra's defense on Nightmare. And yeah, it will also build the right amount of accuracy and resistance if we set that. For KRO'KHAD, number 1, we don't need any accuracy. If you're running him without Shayak, you do need accuracy. So you want to build him with, well, whatever you're aiming for. So for example, right here, I need about 340 accuracy. That's including my area bonuses, I think. Yeah, you want to build him with enough accuracy. Check the stages tool. Build him for whatever you're targeting. For a new player, about 200 accuracy will cover like normal dungeons, normal Doom Tower, all of that. About 350 accuracy will cover up to 350 to 400 accuracy will cover hard Doom Tower, all of Hydra, most of Chimera, but not Ultra Nightmare. So yeah, like that will put you in a pretty good spot. For speed, I would recommend around 200 speed. Seems about right for him. For Faction Wars, you might want to be a little bit faster. For Hydra, you could potentially be a little bit slower, actually. Around about 200 speed is going to be about right. And you can tweak it based off your gear. You might put in 200 speed, and after we do the other steps here, you might say, God, my gear really sucks. In that case, knock it down to 190. Try again. If your gear still sucks, knock it down to 180. I would not go below 170. Even as a brand new player, that's sort of your minimum after even a couple of weeks playing the game. 170 speed, don't go below that. But yeah, I think for most people, around 200 for Hydra is going to be perfect. You don't want him to be too fast. There's no point. He's going to be wrecking things anyway. You just want to hit as hard as humanly possible. That's going to be your goal there. So let's start with about 200. For your slots, attack percent on the chest. I don't know why defense is ticked. Attack percent on the boots. If you are building him faster, you can include speed. So we'll include speed. Crit damage on the gloves. You can also include crit rate. If we go back to, it's over here. This would be my priority. I think attack percent on the boots and speed are sort of equally valuable. Crit damage is better than crit rate, but they're both viable. And depending on how far you are in the game, how good your gear is, you might need to use crit rate to do it. And yeah, attack is better than accuracy on the banner, unless you don't have Packmaster Shayak, in which case accuracy banner is probably a really good idea. But it's generally better the other way. course, we need to go this way. Cool. Attack ring, crit damage neck, accuracy, or attack banner. We haven't set him with any requirements. We're going to put in 6 pieces of Merciless. I'm not going to set, you can add in other sets as well. We could say, oh, also include Zeal. I guess you have to add Zeal first before 6 Merciless. It's a bit buggy, but whatever. You can include glyphs if you want to. I'm not going to. Click optimize, click start, leave it go. I'll be back. Well, actually, we'll come back to it in a second. We'll see what it spits up. Let's look at the other stuff first, because we got relics and blessings. Now that we know how to do them. Oh, also his master. Oh, I forgot to change that. Her best masteries. I'm pretty sure KRO'KHAD's a male dog. I don't know. We should check the lore. But we obviously have the full guide. I've actually updated the ratings since this stuff. And YST's on holiday, then I'm on holiday. So I've updated the ratings while he's away. And then he can update them properly when he's back. But the ratings, by the time you see this, should already be much higher than this. He's much, much better. I think it's one of the awkward things where it's like, I think for YST is like, do I rate him based off of how good he is with Shayak or without Shayak? It's one of those problems, actually, just with ratings in general. Do you rate him for the best case scenario, or do you rate him for, maybe a more accessible scenario? It's kind of tough, but we've marked them up all anyway. You can see his multipliers, but there's masteries down here, so yeah, something like that's fine. I might do him slightly different. I'd probably send him down the defense tree instead, personally. But this is good as well. What I would recommend, my general recommendation would actually be this for most people. I'd recommend the PvP Nuker Masteries as the most general one. That's going to be your general best bet. I would say the War Master is better if your gear really sucks, right? So if you've only been playing the game for 0 to 6 months, War Master might be a better option. If you've been playing for longer than that, Helm Smasher probably becomes better. Certainly when you're in 6-piece Merciless, Helm Smasher will be better. And then I'd be getting him the counterattack stuff because his counterattacks are so stupidly strong. So I would recommend this set of masteries. One thing you could do if you're not using him for Faction Wars or Arena, you could ditch Ruthless Ambush and get him Life Drinker instead. That would be the one change, which will help him stay alive against clan bosses, whereas Ruthless Ambush, more damage on your first hit. Doesn't really matter for Hydra, whereas Life Drinker is quite helpful. And in that case, you'd also drop Shield Breaker and get him Heart of Glory instead. So that would be what I do. Basically same build, but drop Shield Breaker and Ruthless Ambush, get Heart of Glory, Life Drinker, and otherwise it would be these exact ones. Cool. Okay. That's what's happening there. For his blessings and his relics, folks. So for the blessings, I actually show these in-game. Makes more sense. We'll bring up Thor again as our example. Pretty much the same as Thor, right? Nature's Wrath is the best PvE damage option up to 5 stars. It's going to give you, pretty quickly into the fight, 15% damage bonus, which is 15% more damage. It's really good. If you get him to 6 stars, and only at 6 stars, Crushing Rend becomes better. This will give you a ton of Ignore Defense, which is his best possible stat. As you can see at 5-star, it's only the first 2 hits of each round. That's it. And at 3-star, it's only the first hit of each round. Same at 1-star. You want it to be 6-star, where every hit for the entire fight. It's only worth picking at 6-star. Maybe for Faction Wars only, Crushing Rend would be better, but it wouldn't be as good against the bosses at 5-star below. It'd be good for the waves, but yeah, you want to get it. 6-star Crushing Rend. Otherwise, for PvE, Nature's Wrath. Now, for Arena, Lightning Cage at any star rating. The goal of this is to protect your buffs, specifically Stone Skin, right? You want KRO'KHAD to stay alive and just rip people apart with counterattacks. Having his Stone Skin be protected by the Lightning Orb gives you loads of protection to stop it being removed. It's got the baseline 50-50 to stop being removed. Now you're giving it an extra level. Even at 1-star, you're giving it an extra 50-50 to stop being removed. Now you've lowered the chance for someone to remove your Stone Skin to 25%. It's really, really good. So that would be my recommendation there. For the relics, there's a few interesting ones for the relics. The mythicals are very interesting, I think. So, Stormcaller, extremely good, especially for Faction Wars and Arena. But you need accuracy. They nerfed this relic. You now need accuracy, but it's still phenomenal. The best gem slots and crit damage, attack, and then speed. Amazing. Chance for the Stormcall buff whenever you land a critical hit. Now, here's the thing, because he's counterattacking so much, and he's got double hits on his other 2 abilities, he will build this Stormcall buff up really quickly. And what it does is Stormcall is giving you more damage. It's like Thor's passive, actually. It gives you more damage, and then at 5 stacks, I think it is, you will consume it and you'll stun everybody. So he will just stun everyone on his counterattack. You need accuracy. Probably still not worth building accuracy on him, though. You'll just not stun supports in Arena. It's really difficult to have too much resistance, not worth bothering. But you will stun their damage dealers, most likely. Now, the only problem with this is that Stormcaller is totally busted on Marius. So, yeah, unless you've got 2 of these, he's never going to get it. Unless you don't have Marius, in which case he is a good pick. One that's very interesting, I don't know, I have to test it more, but I'll let you guys know. Murderfang, check it out. Attack, crit damage, 2 triangles, a circle, and a square. It's really good. Wearer has a 25% chance, that goes up a lot, to do bonus damage when using the default skill. It's 3% for single target hits, or 1% for AoE hits of the target's max HP. So great stats, great gems. Now this effect is really interesting because what does KRO'KHAD, I've gone the wrong way, what does KRO'KHAD have on his A1? So Murderfang only works on A1 skills. His is single target damage rather than AoE. This should be a perfect synergy with Murderfang. Potentially, this is ridiculously strong. I'm not sure. We'll have to test it out and see. Most likely what's going to happen is it will depend on how good your gear is. Yeah? The Cat's Gaze is your other really good option. It's giving you even more ignore defense. Yeah? So this would be your best legendary option. All this ignore defense, like if you have crazy stats to back it up, just the sheer raw damage you're going to do might be stronger than these extra max HP hits. Possibly, if your gear's not that good, these max HP hits might be a lot better. Not quite sure yet. Again, we have to test it out, but I'll just throw it out there. I mean, clearly, I would say he's almost designed for it. And by the way, there's nothing to do with this, but I feel a lot of people are wondering, what's the deal with the collective? This removes all your buffs. Does this not just suck? What's the point of this? I think this one, by the way, was clearly designed to go on a damage dealer that was paired up with Titus. But then Titus is so busted that you build him as the damage dealer and you don't use him as a support. So this relic is useless. I bet that's what happened. But yeah, I think Murderfang is pretty much designed for him. Other good champions, it's also really good on like a Lydia, I think. And you can build Lydia for damage for PvE, squeeze a little bit extra out, and she does a lot of A1s. Basically, champions with counterattacks and ally attacks are good. If you're lucky enough to have it. I'm gone the wrong way. Here we go. Going the wrong way all the time. Oh yeah, so other options then. Obviously, we mentioned the Cat's Gaze. No surprise, bunch of ignore defense. It's like his best stat. Crown of Corruption would be pretty good, but he's super squishy. We won't mention any other mythicals. The budget options, Arethi Coronet, same thing as Thor. Attack, bit of accuracy as well. You do more damage each time you place a debuff. You get up to 30% bonus damage. It's really freaking good. This is your budget option. This is what most people will be running on him, will be the Arethi Coronet. It's super accessible. The main downside with it is it doesn't have many gem slots, right? So you will fall behind a bit ultimately, but it's so insanely good. You can leave it at like level 9, so you'll get like whatever 3% damage per debuff. You only need to place 10 debuffs and the damage bonus is maxed out. Relic's crazy good. If you don't have that, Malefic Talon is your best super budget option. But yeah, for most people, Arethi Coronet is going to be the way to go. Obviously, why is he so strong? In terms of gems, just worth mentioning, his best ones would be, if you get him into the Stormcall or whatever, 2 boss slayers for 20% more damage to bosses. And with this, you want actually sharpened riposte, 50% more damage from counterattacking. If you got those mythical gems, he's going to be so unbelievably busted, it's not even funny. But you probably don't have them. I certainly don't. So, but hey, it's something to look forward to in 10 years. So there is that. I think that's everything there. Let's check out the optimizer and see. So for example, here we go. This would be an example build for him. We can see this is what it's coming out with for Mr. Oh, I've zoomed in too much for Thor. Here we go. That's perfect. On my Thor, if I gave him this gear, which is almost exactly what he's wearing, he'd have 105% crit rate, in which case we could drop the masteries, giving him 5% crit, give him a bit more attack instead. Usually not worth it, because you're going to be changing gears more than you'll change masteries. I just tend to give him the crit mastery anyway. 358 crit damage, 9,000 attack, something like this. He actually is still coming out with pretty good accuracy, because he's got pretty decent accuracy on this gear, like whatever. But yeah, this is basically what you'll do. This is basically what you'll do for your doggo as well. He's very similar. Like I said, very similar to Tholin, very similar to Thor. The big difference is being Thor is more dependent on accuracy, and Tholin doesn't need any accuracy, but Tholin tends to be a little bit more dependent on speed. Whereas the Hound can get away with much lower speed because tons of his value comes from this double counterattack damage, which he doesn't need to take any turns to do. And Shayak, when he brings him in with an ally attack on his A1, again, he doesn't need to take a turn to do it. So he needs less speed than others. But there you go. That should be everything you need to know. The written guide should be linked down below. And yeah, good luck. Enjoy your KRO'KHAD. I'll definitely be building mine up for sure. Might wait for Personal Rewards CVC to actually build them. But I'll definitely do more stuff on KRO'KHAD when I actually have the 5-star soul up and running on my account. There's a really good chance. The big thing I want to test is, can I show you? Yeah, I can. Good. For Hydra, so that you guys know, I've got a trended team. I've got lots of teams. I've got this one. Yeah, I'm using this Titus team right now, which that's still a work in progress. So don't copy this one. I mean, it does I think it did 2 billion damage or something on auto, but it's not still work in progress. I'll do a full video on that when it's done. Then the question becomes, the Thor team is now, it's gone. Forget about it. But it's, KRO'KHAD, is he better than Ninja? He might be. He might be. So this team might get broke, which is crazy. The Ninja Mikage team and Marius might get replaced by KRO'KHAD. I think there's a pretty good chance that it does. We'll see. We will see. But yeah, that's sort of what's happening. That's it. Yeah, let me know any questions, any other tips you guys have for KRO'KHAD. But the champion is insane. He's got crazy high base attack as well, so you should crank it up very, very high. And I think that's everything. Yeah, guys, thanks for watching. I will see you next time. Goodbye.